obviously you've got Froch, which was a kind of massive banana skin for you guys in many ways. What problems does Andre Ward present for Carl Froch now, and is it going to be one of the toughest fights technically of his career?
Yeah, of course. He's very fast, Andre Ward. He's a different type of fighter, but every time Carl Froch boxes, he boxes differently. You saw the Abraham fight, you saw all of the fights he fights. He fights great fighters every time. Ward's a tremendous fighter, but so are some of the other fighters Carl's fought. Froch will be ready, don't worry about that. I'm not so sure about 3 or 4 months. I don't like 12 rounders every 3 or 4 months. I think we need a little bit more time than that. He's a tremendous warrior, Carl Froch, and he's a tremendous boxer as well. And we don't produce too many of him in the UK, and we've got to enjoy him while he's around. I keep saying this because it'll be a long time before we get another one like him. I know Lennox Lewis was mentioned, and it's been a while since he stopped boxing. You know, obviously Joe Calzaghe and 1 or 2 others, but they're very few and far between. So I just hope, you know, the UK public embraces him as well, because he's a tremendous athlete.
Where will this fight take place?
I'm not sure. I have no idea. He'll probably be in the States.
What do you make of Andre, and how do you see that fight at this stage?
It's a question to me.
Yeah.
I think Andre is a fantastic athlete. He's a great fighter, a good competitor. Olympic gold medalist aren't given out, you know, like Candy. He's a good fighter, but Olympic gold medals don't guarantee world level starting in professional rankings, as we've seen with Audley Harrison, and as we've seen with more recently James DeGale. You know, 2 Olympic gold medalists who have failed early at the hurdles. Andre Ward's obviously very good. He beat Mikkel Kessler in a dubious fight that was very controversial in terms of the way in which the headbutts and the cuts were opened up early on, and he was allowed to get away with certain fouls. Allowed to penalise Kessler and get away with it because he was at home. But taking that away, he's had a couple of decent wins against top-level fighters, and he's obviously deserved his place in the Super 6 final by beating who he's beat. But that's a fight I know I can win. I spoke to Ron McCracken at length about Andre Ward, and we know what we need to do to beat him. You know, Andre Ward's not a big puncher. Just to pull out one of his limitations, he's not a banger. So anybody who can't punch against somebody who can bang and who's got a jaw like I've got, they're in trouble, because I can put them on the back foot regardless of what they're doing. I can put pressure on them and put them on the back foot, make them work and hit them hard and often. So Ward's got a problem there if he feels he can just keep me off with his little pitter-patter jab and hold and use his head as a third arm. He's not going to get away with it, especially out of Oakland, his hometown, which this fight's not going to be there, that's for sure. So, you know, the Ward fight's going to be a massive fight. It's a fantastic sporting occasion between 2 of the top super middleweights in the world, not taking anything away from Ward. But it's a fight we know we can win. I'm sure Ward feels he can win the fight. And it might be one of them fights that, you know, if we fought 10 times, it might not be 10-0 to 1, it might be 5-5. So it's on the night. It's who gets it right in the preparation, on the build-up, and then who crosses the line on the evening. I believe I can do it. And I'm sure Andre Ward will tell you he can do it. That's what makes it such an exciting, fantastic occasion, and an accolade to the Super 6 World Boxing Classic, because that's what it's generated. It's brought these 2 top fighters, in myself and Andre Ward, together at the top of this. You know, it's the pinnacle of the sport to fight for a unified title. WBC, WBA, the Ring Magazine belt's going to be up for grabs, and there's going to be a pound-for-pound ranking at the end of it. And hopefully this will be somewhere in Las Vegas. It's going to be on Sky TV, hopefully Sky Box Office, and you know, it's going to be fantastic, and this is what sport needs, a big lift.
You wouldn't go to Oakland, would you?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Well, just what, Carl, what on the final? Obviously, you hope you can beat him. 2, what do you think, if any, he's got any weaknesses? And 3, what do you think of the Super 6 overall? I mean, it's been great so far.
Yeah, I definitely think I can beat Andre Ward. I've just said that. Any weaknesses he's got, I think one of his major weaknesses is the fact that he's not a big puncher. That might not be a weakness, because he can make up for that with speed and movement and boxing ability, which he's obviously got. This is why he's got a gold medal. But in the professional game, there's 12 rounds, and boxing and movement don't always work for 12 rounds. We've got a lot of pressure coming at you and big heavy shots, which is what I've got. So, you know, my tactics aren't going to be to put him on his back foot and bully him and push him around. It's going to be to make him come. You know, we can mix it up. I can stand and fight, or I can box and move, whatever we need to do. So I'll leave the tactics down to Rob. I'll have a couple of weeks off first, and then we'll get back in the gym and we'll work out what we're going to do to beat Ward. We'll feel we can beat him. We'll feel we'll do a number on him. And the third question was? It's World Boxing Classic has been fantastic. Everybody's been critical. You've had your negatives, people that didn't put it together, the TV networks that didn't get involved or didn't put it together. or the promoters, or the, you know, Ken Hirschman needs to be applauded for what he's done, because he's brought together some of the top fighters in this division. And we wanted to fight each. Look at the fights I've had against Kessler, Durrell, Abraham, now Johnson. Look at some of the other fights.